the feminine side. The standpoint. Still listen to the feminine side. The standpoint.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to the all-new TSP with Gifty Anti. And I do not look like Oheneyere Gifty Anti. That's right, because my name is Mama Viewuswabwaje, and I am your new host on this all-new TSP with Gifty Anti. Not exactly. I'm only hosting for today. So thank you so much for joining us, whether on television, on YouTube, or on Facebook. We're very grateful that you could make time to join us. It's a big surprise on the show today. Do you want to guess who my big guest will be? Well, wait for it because it's coming shortly. Thanks to Hidden Glow for making me look pretty. Stay with us.
The standpoint. The standpoint.
Thank you for staying with us on the TSP with Gifty Anti. And I have said it before, I am not Oheneyere Gifty Anti. My name is Mama Viewuswabwaje. Just want to acknowledge our supporters, those who have made this show possible. House of Food, Verna Mineral Water, and Bigo. Juice Time, Our Cuisine, Yep Cleaning Services, Mrs. Ofori Poku, and E-Gardens Center. So my big guest on this all-new TSP with Gifty Anti, ladies and gentlemen, is Oheneyere Gifty Anti. How do I say welcome to the show when it's your show?
It's your show. Thank you for having me, and thank you for agreeing to do this.
But it's a privilege. Really, it's such a big honor for me to be in your seat having a conversation with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I want to begin with the fact that you look good.
Thank you.
And I know it's because you have great support.
Yes.
So
yes.
can we
So,
acknowledge those who have made it possible?
My beautiful hair, makeup by Ishilo GH. Yeah, my makeup is by The Global. And then, of course, the fabric. This fabric is by Adepa Fabrics, a very young lady who's into the fabrics. And then the dress was made for me by Liran Collections.
Also.
And then the beads and earrings by Twinny Crafts.
Okay.
It takes a whole village.
Yeah. Twinny Craft I'm familiar with.
Yes.
Because of you.
Great.
So I think I want to begin this way. You've done the standpoints.
Yes.
For 15, 16 years.
Yes.
How have you sustained it?
Ooh. It's been a journey. It's been tough. We've had some good support in the past, but for the past few years, 7, 8 years, it's been really tough. But it's been sustained because I have the passion for it. And I must confess, there's been times where I've had to put my own money into it, or money from book sales or speaking engagements, and it has its seasons when you will have sponsorship come in or advertisement, and then there comes a time when it's really dry.
Right.
It's time there've been crying moments, but somehow.
Even with you?
Oh, yes, crying moments, and you wonder, I mean, is this program going to continue? How are we going to sustain it? But somehow God always makes a way.
Did you think you were going to cross
No.
10, make it to 15?
No. I remember the first anniversary, somebody made a comment, women's program 1 year, and you're already celebrating. I said, well, because of that, I want to celebrate every year. Every year that comes, it's a miracle that it comes. It's an achievement that, we've been able to, cross that. And by the time I blinked, 15 years. And July this year will be 16 years.
And you're still standing.
You're still standing on the point.
Yeah, that's such an inspiration, because a lot of programs would start and then, they will go off air.
Yeah.
But you're still here, standing strong on the points.
Amen to that.
Any episode that stands out for you, because you've done so many episodes in these years? Anything that is still on your mind fresh?
The episodes that really hit me are the episodes that yield results. For example, we had one lady from the north who was an HND. She had a qualification in, she had an HND diploma.
Okay.
Yeah, from then, but she was a head porter at the Dom Kwabinya market. Somebody found her and brought her. We interviewed her, although she shared her story, very, heart-wrenching story. And then we had a company, that's Blue Skies, coming in to say we'll offer her a job. And she got a job from Kaya straight to, and at the time she got there, within 2 weeks, she had about 200 workers under her.
Oh.
Yes. Very hardworking, very determined, very intelligent. And now the last time I spoke to her was somewhere last year, and she's a partner with some, I think, foreigners who were starting their manufacturing company.
Right.
In the eastern part of, so you hear these stories like, wow, this platform helped,
Why the feminine side, though? Why not the human side?
I like that, human side. For a very long time, we've had the male side, males dominating everything, even in the media space. And I was raised, to believe that, and I heard it over and over again, everybody has a masculine and a feminine side. The masculine is always, you have to be macho, you have to prove that you've got this, you've got that. But for a long time, even in the media space, you're a woman. Political space is not for you. If you want to do the quote unquote, tough, it's not for women.
Hardcore journalism.
Hardcore journalism. It's not, the investigative is not for you. But some of us dared go there thanks to our mentors that we had who pushed us, and we were able to do it. And it's opened the way for a lot more women to go there. So the whole thing is, listen, there's a feminine side. There's a feminine voice that is waiting to be heard.
Right.
And we need to create a platform for it to be heard.
It's good that you've gone to the space in terms of journalism. So maybe we should stay there for a while. You talked about people mentoring you.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you are involved in the current crop of broadcast journalists. Are you mentoring any of them?
Oh, yes, quite a number of them, who still come to me. Quite a lot of them spotted along, some across the country.
Right.
Both males and females. Both males and females, yeah.
But, particularly in recent times, there have been some sort of comparisons. People talk about GTV.
Right.
They talk about you, they talk about Akushika.
Right.
And the space has obviously changed.
Yes.
People, I don't know if people expected that things will be the same, because they talk about the fact that, in those days, you'd wear cover and slit to read the news. But things are not the same.
Things are not the same.
Are you proud of where we are, how the evolution has happened? Or you would have wished that news reading would have stayed with cover and slit?
No. Even I have moved from cover and slit, but you see, there are ethics of every profession. And decency is part of, and simplicity. I think when I was at GBC, I got into a lot of trouble because simplicity was, for me, is relative. I loved my big beads. I loved my big jewelry, and tie my scarf, and those times you should have only 3 things on you. You were told just an earring, a watch, and a bracelet, or a necklace. You need to choose 3 maximum.
Okay.
You should have that. Sometimes I'll be suspended because I remember when they said I was too glamorous.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, and most of the time it will count for veterans. When we're at GBC, everybody, and it helped. Everybody had it. The veterans, the past broadcasters, our trainers. God bless them, Mrs. Ademola, Roberta Gardner, Mr. John Owusu. You finish presenting the news, you have to sit by the phone for at least 15 minutes. If it doesn't ring, you were blessed. because it will ring.
And who will be
Your
calling
pronunciation, your posture, your what. I had to go for extra training with Professor Datsi. He was an English professor at the University of Ghana. I met a lady, Emma Ampofo. She's still my mentor. She's still my tutor, lecturer, everything. I mean, I call her my madam. You know, she could tell me off just like that. I dare not say a word. She just came to GBC one day. I was told I had a visitor. I didn't know her from anywhere. She came all the way from Takrady and said to me, young lady, I see something in you, but you need a bit of polishing. So I know an English professor at University of Ghana. Go see him. Let him help you in terms of posture, in terms of pronunciation, in terms of grammar, and I think it will help you. I think I was just blown away by, the way she, and so I did. Those times I was paying 30 cedis an hour. And 30 cedis those days was 30 cedis. It was.
So it wasn't just go and see the professor, but you needed to pay for it.
Yes, I paid 30 cedis an hour. And I was going twice a week. And it did help me. And she's been a part of me for all these years. This was, I think, it was 99 or so. Either 99 or 2000.
Right.
And she's been a part of me. You must be willing to learn. I am still learning. I still get some of the younger media people, correct. I listen to you for pronunciation sometimes. When
me?
Yes, I do.
No, I listen to you.
Oh, Nyabutre. I listen to you on the Super Morning Show. When you on there, I see that they want to take you back to TV. You see I'm following you. I listen to, because you can never finish learning. The moment you stop learning, you die.
Yeah.
You must be willing to take correction from both the young and the... It's mutual. The world has evolved. Things have changed. But decency is decency. Journalism is journal. Ethics are ethics. We evolve, but there are certain things that remain core.
Right.
And we must not miss it.
What do you think about the fact that some people seem to think that this generation, at least the current either presenters or newscasters, are themselves news?
Yeah.
And before, it was all about, the news was not you.
You, yeah.
Is it just the times that have changed? Is it just the trend?
I don't know if it's the trend, but I watch CNN. I watch BBC. We'll all talk about the, what's her name? Rosemary Church, her beauty and all that. I mean, she evolves every time, but then she's not the news. People make the news about her. She doesn't make the news about her. You get the difference. I have had news made about me many times. It's not because I went out to try and make the news about me.
Right.
So there's a difference in that. I remember our time, it's touch and go. It was a he said, she said.
Yeah.
And then over time it evolved, where we're allowed to get involved, to express an opinion, but still remain objective and fair.
Yeah. But how do you then get the likes, get the bloggers to talk about you?
Why do you want to get the bloggers to talk about you? That's my point. Why do you want them to talk about you? Of course, if you're doing something, okay, so these days, I'm an influencer as well. There are some media people. I am not. If I were at GBC, there's no way I could be an influencer for anything.
Even now?
Yes. You can't be. They'll say, then, I mean, how can you, if I was with GBC and I'm influencer for, let's say, a company, that company gets into trouble. What do you do? I remember having shared this, I was dating someone, it was in the late 90s. I was a news presenter and he died. And I was the news presenter on that day, on duty that day.
No way.
I had to present the news.
And you needed to do
and
that
I presented the news and I announced that he had died. Wow. After that, you can go and cry.
That's not fair.
Remember the day Professor Mills died? May he rest in peace. I was the editor on duty. I was a senior most person. And then Mr. Befia Penting, he was the director general then, and was watching. So I called him, said, everybody. He said, Gifty, are you everybody? Are you every media house? Do you know that when GBC announces it, that's it? What is your concrete evidence? This is not the first time it's being said that the man is dead. So let's wait and get. I was 18, I mean, I'm not the very young person, but still, I just want to. I'm on duty. I need to announce. I want to. No, you had to wait till I think Honorable Mahama Yariga called and said. And somehow we were able to also get all the top people to speak to us.
Right.
And once we said it, it was confirmed. But before, people will say, oh, GBC, they are late. But when GBC says it, and that is how we expect it to be, authoritative. There are things that even till now, I'm very careful about commenting on social media. Because I comment on it, and it becomes news.
Yeah, it's like you're confirming
something.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
So just a few days, I was just playing one of the bloggers said, you people, aren't you fed up with me all these years, and just laughed. So I think you sell our blogs and all that, and then we laugh. So you just have to be careful. I'm an author, and one of my books, my very first book, A Bit of Me, there's a chapter on when society decides. I've been a strong believer, be yourself. Don't care about what anybody says or, what the opinions are. But when you find yourself in a certain position, you can't do that. You can't do that. A pastor beating his wife, a pastor seen drinking. You can't do that.
Yeah. Has it always been journalism for you, though?
Ooh, no. No. I said journalism identified me, found me, and I fell in love with it. It was never journalism. It was Teko's suicide, Doreen and Dor and I, Tema girls. We said Teko's suicide. We had to go to Tek. Guess what? We never got to, both of us never got to go to Tek. Yeah, when we're going, it was Teko's suicide. I wanted to be a land economist. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get it. Then I wanted to be a PR person because then the new Peugeot was in town. And the the public relations officers were driving it. So I wanted to be. So GIJ, all I wanted was to be a public relations officer.
So you could drive a Peugeot?
Thank you. We went for the interview. First panel said, we think you'll be good for journalism. Which one to is that? Oh, Pacho, yeah, I don't want that. Second panel, my letter came, journalism. Then my brother said, don't worry, you can still do journalism and become a public relations, officer. So for my internship, during our time, you have to do 6 months internship. I went straight to then Internal Revenue, IRS, Public Relations Office, straight. After 1 month, my then director of Public Relations came to me and said, Gifty, I think you should go and try a media house. It was as if I'm being hounded by the people from my mother's side or from my father's side. I don't know.
Maybe both.
Both, to push me in there. And I went and I never looked back. I went and I never looked back.
So no regrets?
Absolutely no regrets.
That's a career path that many would say the salaries are low.
They are.
You're looking posh on the screen, but the pocket is not feeling the same.
No, but it's journalism is all about the passion. These days, some people go in there because they want to come on TV, because they want to be on radio. I love telling stories. I've always been like that, even as a news presenter, I tell people I have scars on my leg to prove for it. I travel the length and breadth of this country, the remotest part, telling stories. I was at work quite recently, and it was so refreshing because in 2004, I went there and I did a story on the school for the blind. You know, the conditions there, the food and everything. And we had some people go to donate to them, you know, and there was an old lady there who remembered, you know, and it was such a blessing. I've always said, you have to be committed to that. You have to love, you know, we all see people and we'll ask, so this thing that you're doing, you know, but they love it.
Right.
The rewards may not be monetary. You recently heard the story of Phyla, you know, the Cookathon lady.
Yes.
You know, I didn't even remember. This is 2004. All I did was send books. Look at her now.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll talk about the all-new TSP with Gifty Anti and whether or not this is my only time on the show.
No.
Stay with us.
The Standpoint. The Standpoint.
Thank you for staying with us. This is the TSP with Gifty Anti, and when I say with Gifty Anti, I smile because I am not Gifty Anti. She's actually my guest on TSP with Gifty Anti. I did promise that we will talk about the new show.
Yeah.
As this is a new season. This is a new phase.
Right.
What is new?
The name is new. The style is new because this time it's going to be more of one-on-one. The focus is new. Still on women, projecting women. We've always done discussing issues affecting women.
Right.
This time we are moving into projecting women wherever we find them, from the marketplace
Okay.
to the cleaner who has been able to clean for years and taking care of her children to the university level. You know, to the woman who's chosen to be a domestic CEO, you know, a domestic CEO,
Yeah.
the housewife.
You're running the home.
You know, which decision is to create role models for young ones to know that it is possible. We see her all glamorous. We see her all doing this, all that. But she had to make certain sacrifices to get here. We are going to unearth the untold stories of women across the country. We are going to move from the studio sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
To go to people's homes, to go
Right.
to farms. You know, we're going to be deliberate and intentional about it. Yeah.
As you're saying, you're going to be moving.
Right.
I was just thinking,
Yeah.
what motivates you? I mean, like, you're not tired?
I know, right? I know, right? It's the passion. And for me, I see it as a ministry because I'm always saying I'm tired. I'm always saying, these days when I say I'm tired, nobody minds me because they know that the next moment, listen, just some few weeks ago, I was just crying and, you know, Mrs. Leslie from Asari as my professional godmother, she mentored me, you know, the hard way, but she still loves me. And I was telling Honorable Ablaji Fagomashi and a few others that I'm tired. Listen, sometimes you do this and you don't even see, sometimes the people don't appreciate it. And the next month, I think 2 weeks after, no, just last week, I sent them, I said that, oh, we are rebranding. I said, hey, you don't come and tell me anything. You are what? Since when did you plan this? But this was you know, I'm a woman of faith, and this was quite a prophetic direction.
Right.
I went to see one of my fathers, this is Apostle Dr. Emmanuel Donko. I went with a different issue. So after talking, ranting for God knows how many, he just was, okay, let's pray. And then after prayer, he said, God says it's about time to repackage your show. First of all, you, and then your show. Okay. It's about time you project more women. You become the shoulder that you've been talking about for other women to stand on. There are a lot of women out there who needs their stories. Maybe the topics you discuss, they may not be interested in. They'll be on, they will talk about the topics and discuss all them, but they have a story that they are yearning to tell the world. So you need to move with it. So I said, Papa, what about? I said, listen, go and do that one. through that, I'm sure your problem will be solved. So you go. Initially, I was like, this one, does he know that I don't even have sponsorship? Does he know that I can't even pay salaries this month? Last week, you heard my staff saying that I just gave them 1 week notice that we are doing it, and they were just wondering, is this woman crazy? She's always crying about money. Just how are we able to do it? But then finally, when we unveiled it last weekend, they slept here overnight.
Oh.
My staff are all young people, some with no working experience. So their first working experience is with me. But they are so committed because I'm a hands-on. I stay here with them. You know, I just got 2 hours sleep maybe on my bed, but they slept here in the studio to make sure that the setup, they looked at it and said, it is worth it.
Yeah. It looks beautiful.
It is worth it. Took a young person to design this, Bernard, very young guy, to design the logos for us and, you know, get this place, you know, that. There's always some renewed energy when you're passionate about it, when you love it, when you understand the mission and the vision.
Right.
Somehow you receive the energy to keep going.
What sort of impact are you hoping that this new season would make?
I'm hoping that we'll be able to change the narrative. As much as we've been talking about the issues, we've been trying to flip the narrative and all that, there's still some voices out there that try to shut it down. Because what they see is a certain group of people always talking, always fighting, always agitating. But there are a whole lot of women who have been able to do this. People of course, there's a extreme side of everything. I say that even the Bible and the Quran, people use it. That we have extremists. So we have extremists, you know, when it comes to feminism. But for me, feminism is simply to let women understand that you are worthy, that you have a place, you have a space to occupy, regardless of who you are, where you find yourself. You don't have to be at the mercy of someone.
Right.
And you don't need to be constantly living in fear because of the unknown. So we are hoping that we are going to see real life people who will tell the true stories of their journey. Not come and, you know, say something that is not, you know. And I always tell people that, and very soon you'll be sitting here to your time will come.
It feels good being here. Asking you the questions.
You'll be here. I don't give questions out. Enough. All these years, never done it. It's a conversation.
Right.
So it flows naturally. So when you're lying, everybody will know. So I had this girl who came telling me about how miserable she is, and she doesn't have parents, and her aunties are maltreating her. And she actually came with some of her roommates. They feed her and all that. Thank God that this program is pre-recorded. 2 days after, one of the ladies called and said, Auntie Gifty, we are sorry. We just found out that this girl is lying. Wow. Everything she said was a lie. Her parents are alive. They are just okay. She just somehow, we don't know, likes to play on the intelligence of people and try to outsmart everybody. So this is because apparently her parents came to visit, and one of the girls saw and then went close and found out this thing. So I had to edit the program in such a way that I had to edit her out.
Oh, so that was never shown?
No. Her story was never told. Thank God I found out before.
How do you verify whether or not people are really who they say they are?
Great. It's always risky, but we always find a way. We ask questions about the people I bring on the show over the years have been sometimes by recommendation, or people I've encountered at events,
Okay.
or I've watched on other, programs. No wonder my program is on Joy Prime. I've had people from Home Affairs. You remember there was a time, there was a lady who, you hosted Home Affairs for a while, some time ago.
Maybe I just sat in.
You sat in, yes, you sat in
Yeah.
and there was one of the ladies, I got in touch with her. So I pick and choose, following, setting, and sometimes by conversation you get to know that, this person knows, or sometimes people write to you, and tell you that I know this person, she's going through this, or she's achieved this or that, and of course we follow it. But it's always risky because people do lie.
Yeah.
People do lie a lot sometimes these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you considered going to Parliament?
No.
Really?
No.
You have such a strong base.
Yes. And I tell people that I have a bigger base than any politician. My base is bigger than any constituency in this country. I have them from all over.
Yeah.
Quite recently, one of my daughters, Bridget, celebrated her 33rd birthday, and she's an astounded NDC activist. To the extent, even her birthday, happy birthday, they were saying Ezu Eza. And when I got there, all these young people, hey, mommy, this, coming to hug me, mommy, that. Some of them, I don't know them from anywhere. Both the males and females, everybody was just, we live in a country, once you decide that you're going to hear, every other person, somehow, all the work that you've done over the years, all the activism, all the empowerment, everything goes to. Not only the people in your party are the ones that follow you, And that's just by the way, but deep down within, I just want to be there for everybody.
But wouldn't you make more impact if you were in Parliament? Because then you'd be passing laws, your voice would be heard in a bigger space.
Where I am, I'll advocate. I'll be able to support every single woman in Parliament.
It has never crossed your mind?
Never.
Are the political parties, at least the two main political parties, approached you?
Yes. There was a time that my posters, they even, started having my posters everywhere. They wanted me to contest in my constituency, my hometown. I said no. I just,
you didn't even have to think about it.
No. I just an outright. Flat out to, no. I'm to active politics, but no.
But which of the parties would you have considered, though? NPP and DC?
The Women's Party.
Which one is that?
Women's Party. We'll form our own party.
But we need, I asked you that because we need more women in places where there aren't enough women.
I totally agree.
And we don't just need women. We need women of influence, women who can make impact, women whose voices can be heard.
We can do that from where I sit. I can do that. It's just, I've lived under a president who would appoint ministers and DCEs and secretaries who do not necessarily belong to their parties. But it's based on their competence and what they know the person. I tell people that, sometimes you hear that, you minister for gender. I said, they will sack me. They will sack me.
Why?
Because I have very strong views. And it may not tie in with the political agenda or specific, politics of the party. And I will go in there and I will not see only the women in that party. I'll see womanhood.
Right.
I went to Sunyai to do a program, and there was an NDC aspiring MP who just said, you were here. That wasn't why I went. Said, you're here. I want you to come and speak to. And I said, yeah, fine, I'll come. They will tag you. And I said, I'm speaking to women. I'm not speaking to party reps. Every day, the people we meet, the people here who have sat here, who I never knew their political orientation. Victoria Hammer, I never knew she even had political interest. And she's one girl I love to bait, because even when she went into politics and she became a deputy minister, the level of respect and, cordiality that she had never changed. And we've had so many of them who have come here through here and gone into positions of authority, gone into politics and all that. There are people, especially the males who had come on, the breakfast show then, speaking for one party. The next moment I hear they are activists in another party. Politics is dynamic, but I believe you can serve in any position. But I'm not currently interested in joining a particular party.
Would you accept a political appointment?
It depends if I'll be allowed to do what I believe in.
Which ministry would you be comfortable with?
Ministry of Ghana.
Maybe on an ambassadorial role, maybe to head one of the agencies.
That's fine. That doesn't have to be political. That doesn't have.
But
to
it
be
will come with the
political.
same tag, because if a particular administration is appointing you,
For
then
that,
yeah.
I think it depends on how you operate.
But why would you care anyway?
It's the same thing. For example, ambassadorial position, you have a free hand. You are not in Ghana. So the women in UK or the Ghanaian women in UK or US, they are women. They see themselves, they have their political wings there. But from my experience, they see themselves as Ghanaian women. So they do things together. Women's Day, Ghana Independence Day, Ghana's Women's Day, Ghana this. They come together without any political colorations. But home grounds, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we all have our dreams and aspirations. We all have our visions, So I really admire the women in politics, and I support. I've told every single woman that if you need me, I'll be there. I remember 2020. I said I was going to go on political platforms to campaign for women, and then I was told that if you go on an NDC platform first, then people will say that you are NPP, so they won't let you come and campaign. If you go to NPP platform Women First, the NDC will say you are NPP, so they won't let you come and join them. That is how trivial we've become, and very petty, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I still have a bit of time to squeeze some more questions, and I'll be touching on an area that I know many of you surprisingly are passionate about. That's all still to come on the all-new TSP with Gifty Anti. Stay with us.
The standpoint. The standpoint.
It is TSP with Gifty Anti, and may I emphasize, my name is Mama Views Aje, and of course it's a privilege to be sitting in this seat and asking her the questions. So finally, I just want to talk about family, because I spoke to a few people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be talking to Gifty Anti. What would you want to find? There are many people who are interested in your personal family life. So please, how is it going?
Tough. Tough. In my says book, When Strong Women Cry, I said, being married to a chief needs a special anointing. Special anointing. It's not easy.
Special bucket and bowl.
I'm telling you, and being a mother, a late bloomer, battling with menopause and raising a child as well. It's crazy. It's crazy moment. I have to find the balance, the age difference. I'm 54, she's just 6 years. And she's just asking questions that when I was a child, I dare not, even as a teenager, even as a grown woman in my 30s, I dare not ask. She'll be asking and she will insist that you give an answer to. Does
she keep you younger?
She keeps me younger. I hit the gym at a certain point because I just needed to be active. Unfortunately, now having me, because I don't have a help, now it's just me, and I have to be there. I have to be a hands-on mom 24/7. Balancing it with work. It's tough. It's tough, you
Yeah.
know, because being married to a chief is almost always away, you know, for, he says when he took the oath, he said, anytime they call him,
He will
go,
respond.
so he responds. So every day he has time for every day. I say he thinks he's Kunta Kinte, you know, so it's just, so most of the time it's just me and,
But a bit
it's
about running the home with no help.
Yeah.
You know, I have colleagues who complain,
Yeah.
and myself. I mean, it's hard to be changing house.
Yes,
So you
yes.
get to a point where you tell yourself, I'll do it
myself.
But it's almost impossible.
It's
because
almost
you're not
impossible.
You're not superwoman.
No, you're not. And you know, the funny thing is, I have serious OCD. Obsessive compulsive disorder. I am the type, I can't sleep on a bedsheet for more than 2 days. And it had to vanish because I don't have time to be doing all the washing. You know, it means waking up ungodly hour to make sure I get ready before I get her ready, drive her to school, pick her up from school, help with homework. You know, I have to make sacrifices, cut down on certain activities. I mean, I literally have no social life now.
Wow.
Anywhere you see me, maybe I'm dancing, I'm working, and I'm taking the opportunity. And these days I have to go with her. And now she's become very opinionated and very enlightened and exposed. I have to cut down. I realize I have to cut down on that.
Okay.
Because now every time she's asking me, okay, mommy, this weekend, where are we going? I'm like, where are we going?
Oh.
When I have to stay at home, I think I need to say, mommy, I'm bored. And I say, Then it just goes, no, you need to. You need to cut down. So you need to find someone to take care of her, you know. And if you don't have anyone, you stay at home with her. Yeah.
How do you find yourself? I have used this word, but I don't know if it would make sense to you, because that's what I say, that at some point you have to take a break and find yourself and, you know, come back.
I always console myself with the fact that this is a period. This is a season. It will pass. I had a season where I could just get up. When I feel I'm stressed and all that, I could get up and go anywhere.
Try that now.
Try that now. I've had a season when I had a trusted, you know, daughter who would be the leader to take. I could go travel, go work, and I know leaders there will take care of her. Now I can't. The whole of last year, I missed opportunities abroad because there was no one to take care of her, and she was in school, you know. And sometimes not every, you know, organizers who will say that I'll pay for you and your daughter, you know, they can't pay, so then you stay.
Yeah.
It's sacrifice. Sometimes it hits me. Sometimes I ask myself, is it worth it? And then I feel bad for asking, is it worth it? You know, you go through the emotions all the time. And I tell people that when she's asleep, I miss it. When she's awake, I'm in trouble.
I see she's your pride.
She is, because I struggle to have her. I had 4 failed IVF. She was the 5th one that worked.
I have to ask you though, you're vibrant on social media.
Yes.
The bloggers love you. They like to headline you.
I know, right?
How do you survive that?
It's tough. And if you're not careful, it censors you. If you're not careful, it gets to a point where you're wondering, should I write this? If I write it, the bloggers will pick it up the way they twist it. But sometimes you have a burning desire to write because you know you have to write it. Because you know somebody needs to hear that. People literally live on my page waiting to have some inspirational message or something to get them going. You know, I remember there was one I wrote about, just as I've shared, that, you know, I see my friends going out, my year groups, and I can't go. And I have to stay at home and I feel terrible. I'm just wondering it. And I had over 3,000 comments. Mothers who are sharing the same experience. And I shared this around midnight. because I was awake. I was so stressed. I couldn't, and I just had to write it. The headlines. Gifty Anti suddenly gave, or what? The Gifty Anti finally gives up. She said she can't do it anymore. I mean, I was like, can't people read? You know, it took a lot for me to understand that. No, I mean, people will just make whatever they want to make of it.
Yeah.
They will literally kill you off social media if you say you want to follow what they want to say.
Yeah.
So I choose my battles. I write what I want to write and own up. I don't follow trends.
Okay.
It's not everything that I will write. I write when I want to write.
And do you always have to defend yourself?
No, I don't. Like, you know, last year it came up all over the place that I sacked my husband from home and my home is broken and I never answered. I never did. Because, I mean, people asked when I said, because what are you going to say? I didn't do it. So what am I going to say? The people who, they know the truth. But there was just, you know, they'll just keep doing it. But there are times when I've had to defend myself. The one about every man is afraid of a strong woman.
Yeah.
I told them that this is English language. You know, isn't there any woman in your life that you're afraid? A strong woman in your life you're afraid of? We all have matrix. I have people, even as a woman, I have women I'm afraid of. When they call me, so sometimes I post something on social, they call me, I'm like, oh God, not this one. So I will not even pick it up.
Well, I don't know, but I can't take the seats. My time is up, but I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I don't even know why you chose me.
Because I've been following you for years.
Oh, don't
and I'm
say
so
that.
proud of you.
Don't say that.
I say this all the time. I learn from you.
Aww.
You know, it just gives me joy. Yeah. Everything about you. You are intelligent. You articulate. You know, you know your stuff. You research everything. You know, sometimes I just sort of like, okay, I listen to you. I mean, you're just, and it's a privilege for me to have you interview
Please
me.
don't say that. It's rather a privilege for me. Thank you for choosing me.
Thank you.
I've loved this, really. And I wish you the very best with TSB. Who knows? Maybe I'll be on the other side someday.
Oh, yes, very soon.
And I have to be mindful. I can't lie.
Yeah, because Mama V never grants interviews. She hardly will get her here.
Thank you so much. And listen, I hope that you've enjoyed every bit of this one, because I have. Hopefully, is all the questions that you wanted to ask Oheneyere Gifty Anti is what I have asked. Now, look out for the all new, and I say all new because it's a whole new season of the TSB with Gifty Anti. Thanks to all our supporters. Thanks to you for making the time. And we will see you next time.
First of all, let's start from here. Why did you decide? You knew that as a queen mother, you are not supposed to do politics. You sit on a black stool, not just in Kosovo Himao, down to a Hema. Very powerful position. Have you always been this political? Were you a student leader? When did this spirit of politics get into you?
Is it politics? Please, so I went to some place in the Western region, and we saw this crab and shrimps, and I bought some. Just near the river, the bridge, the Ankobra bridge. You know, when I brought the crab home, I couldn't eat it. Because I'm looking at the water, and I'm looking at the shrimp and the crab I've bought. It's not politics. It's about our lives. See, that's the point I'm making. We've separated politics from everyday things. And once you separate it, what happens is that you have the system that we have in Ghana, where you have people that really care just becoming chief queen mothers or whatever, and they cannot even have any influence, just only in their area. But the policy makers, the people who sit down and make the policy, which has polluted the water, they don't have a say. It's, for me, it's not politics. It is about us looking, something is not working, has not worked in the past. How do we make it work? We maybe need to re-look at the constitution. We need to look at something. Something must make it work. So this parish have always been like this, everywhere. Even when I was in school, if you wanted to go to the bathroom in the night, okay, in Infantsman,
Yes.
I remember very well, everybody would wake me up. I'm that kind of person who, the person who born nipa.
Yeah.
I'm always like that. I'm from my childhood. Even, I remember some girl, they said she's a Steve. I want her to be my friend. I'm not somebody who put people out there. It has been me. That is who I am.